Hi guys, this is Miss Crafty 2015, back with another tutorial video. I am so sorry that I haven't uploaded so much for such a long time. It's just been a really crazy time, and I do apologize to those. And since I've started now getting more subscribers, and thank you and a shout out to those who have been subscribing lately, I am now showing this video tutorial on how to make a gap card in Cricut Design program, using your Cricut Explorer or Explorer 1 or your Explorer Air. I posted the recent card on a shout out to my group, Cricut Lovers Guide to Design Space, and people were asking for tutorials, so here we go. So here I have a blank canvas here. And I will not be showing how to put the card together because it's very simple, because I unfortunately do not have a document cam to show you how to assemble it, but maybe sometime in the future I will show card assemblies and also coloring tutorials, because I know some people like to see coloring tutorials and how to blend correctly. But for the purpose of this tutorial, sorry, my phone was buzzing, we're going to be showing how to do a Merry Christmas gap card. So the size of this card is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is your standard A2 card. And the first thing I'm going to do is, if you are not familiar with the new updates that have been happening, please sort of familiarize yourself beforehand. If you know your way around Design Space, then you should have no problem doing this. So the first thing that I want to do now is I want to insert a square. So I'm going to go here to Insert Shapes, and then we're going to click on Square over here. And I'm going to come over here and duplicate it because I need two of them. I'm going to change both of these to the white color, only because it makes it easier to see. And we are going to go over here to the Edit panel, and I want to change the dimensions. Remember that this lock can tell you either to lock the dimensions and it'll increase proportionally, or you can unlock it and resize it however you want to. So in this case, we're going to make the width 5 1/2 and the height by 4 1/4. Press enter, and I'm going to lock it. And we're going to do the same thing for this one. It's going to be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I'm going to hide one of these because we only need one for now. And let's get started. So when I'm doing a gap card, the reason it is called a gap card is because it has a small gap in the middle, and you can put a saying or whatever you want to say on there. Happy birthday, congratulations, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Easter, whatever you'd like on there. And it looks really pretty when it's done correctly. This is a very simple card to make. It only uses some slicing and some welding, and that'll be it. So I have my card base right here, and from Insert Shapes we're going to bring in another square. And the trick to this is that you want to center it right in the middle. And thankfully, with the new Align features, we can center it exactly. You can make this as big or as small as you want to. I'm going to make this about 2 1/4, almost 2 1/2 inches tall by 5.7 inches. I usually go beyond the card base only because I don't want to have these little lines sticking out at the end because I didn't slice correctly. So once I have this, what you want to do is you want to click on one of them, press Control if you have a PC or Command if you have a Mac, and click on both of them to select them. Or Shift, or maybe it'll not go. There we go. They also have the Select All button at the top that you can click. Over here onto the layers panel, you will see the slice button. So if we click that, it will slice the image, and we can take all this junk out. And I'm just going to go and delete this because we don't need this anymore. Okay. If you have any questions or you have any comments, please leave a comment in the comment section below, and I promise that I'll respond to you. After we've made our gap, we want to go and search for an image that we want to use. In this case, I'm going to put Merry Christmas. The one suggestion that I would suggest is you find one that has a shadow in the back, because it makes it much easier to weld and much easier for you to add the sentiment instead of doing itty-bitty pieces where they might fall off or they might tear. So in this case, I'm going to use this one right here, and and this is Merry Christmas from Anna Griffin's Christmas Kiss cartridge. I love this cartridge. It has a whole bunch of awesome images in there and cards, and it's really a nice Christmas cartridge to use for this time of season. So after I've clicked it, you've seen the green check mark over here, and you can see the image down below here, meaning that you have selected it. After you've selected it, click Insert Images, and I'm just going to drag this up. Now you want to resize this to as big or as small as you possibly want it, and make sure that everything is attached. Now, I've done a bunch of gap cards before, and the only thing that I did have trouble in the beginning was the sizing, because you want to make sure that everything is touching and that everything is welded together. So make sure that you size it properly and however you want to. Because I have a shadow in the back and I have the up front on top, what I want to do is after I get the size correctly, I'm going to ungroup this, because right now I only want to play with the shadow. And I'm going to hide the top layer over here. So I'm going to come over here and click the eye so I don't see it. And I'm going to nudge this up, because you can see that this is not quite touching or not quite overlapping all the way. So I'm going to do this very easy like that. I'm going to select all like this, and I'm going to click Align and then Center. So that way I have it nice and center on my card and I don't have to worry about placement. After I've aligned it, I'm going to click Select All again, and over here onto the Layers panel, I'm going to click Weld. Remember that weld is going to join multiple layers into one shape. And now you see that my shadow is welded to this card base over here. I'm going to unclick the eye and just bring it back. Now, after you weld something, it'll bring whatever you have on top to the back. So what we want to do is we want to bring this back forward. So having it still selected, click Arrange, and then you're going to click Move to Front. And that placement that we put it on will bring it right back. Now you might want to nudge it just a bit so that it is centered. And again, you can still do that again by doing Select All, Align, and then Center. And now you have a perfectly center front gap card. I'm going to select this again, and I'm going to click Group so nothing moves out of place, and I'm going to move it right over here. Now let's work on the back of the card. If we unclick the eye, because remember that we hid this card base in the back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down and attach it to this. And this is where you kind of need to play along with it, but again, sometimes you just need a little nudge. So I'm going to select all again, and and this time, instead of clicking center, I'm going to click center horizontally, and it will align them correctly. After I've clicked the two, I'm going to ungroup this one again, because now I'm going to attach the two pieces, but if I attach with the Merry Christmas on top of it, if I select everything, I'll show you what happens, and I click attach, it comes like this, and that's not particularly what we want. So going back, I'm going to click detach, and sometimes if you just press undo, it will bring you back to where you were. So ungrouping this, click the ungroup button here at the bottom of the layers panel. I'm going to hide this back layer again. If it'll go, there we go. And I'm going to click weld. And it looks like it didn't align itself correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click undo again. And to get this correct, I'm going to zoom right in. I'm going to take this and align it as best as I possibly can. There we go. That should work. I'm going to zoom right back out. I'm going to select all, and I'm going to come over here and click weld. There we go. That's much more better. So now that I've welded, and I've got my front and my back, I'm going to click Merry Christmas, and we're going to go arrange, and then move to front to bring it back up. Make sure that everything is centered. Again. Like that. Now we just need to add a score line. So when I usually do cards like these, I don't like to add a score line because sometimes you can misplace where you put them and they don't come out even. In this case, it's okay for you to put a score line, but if you're not comfortable with one, then you don't need to put one. But I sort of just guesstimate at the moment, and we're going to put it, I'm sorry, my computer does not like me today, and we're going to put it just about there, and I'm going to drag this over, and so that it fits perfectly, like that. I'm going to hide this one again, because we want to attach the score line to the card base, and we can't do that with that top layer on there. So again, selecting all again, and we're going to click attach, so that when it's sent to the Explorer, then we can score it while it's cutting. And now I can unrelease this one, bring it back to the front, and everything looks good. And now I'm going to select all again, and I'm going to group, and there you have it. And you have your very first Gap card with this pretty Merry Christmas, all in very fancy script, ready to go.